Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lines TV. Welcome to the match review of our 1-0 win against Bournemouth tonight, and my god was this game hard. But in today's match review, I'm going to be talking about why Bournemouth made things so difficult for us. I'm going to be talking about the individual performances of guys like Ruben and Cover and Giroud and Emerson. And just to remind you, I have released a news daily video, so you're in luck tonight. Once you finish watching this match review, you can watch that video straight afterwards, so I definitely got you guys for tonight. But anyway, if you like this video, smash that like button, help me get more than 500 likes for today's video, and press the bell notification button as well to stay tuned to all things Blue Lines TV. But anyway, getting straight into things, starting with the lineup now, there were a few surprises for this lineup today. I was expecting Surrey to use Christensen and Rudiger together, but the midfield did surprise me, seeing Cover and Cesc playing with Ross Barkley. Now, I thought potentially Sarri might use Ruben on the wings and use Barkley in the number 8 position. He did do that, so it didn't surprise me as much. But of course, seeing Cover playing over Kante, I was not expecting that. But there was one thing that I was very happy with, and that's the fact that our squad players look a lot more confident. Now, with Christensen today, I thought defensively he was very good, and in my opinion, out of all of us centre-backs, I would say that Christensen is our best defensively when it comes to winning his 50-50 tackles. I think he's very composed in those areas, but I thought he was solid today, and I thought he was very promising defensively. I think Emerson as well, another solid performance. Now, I think that the more game time this guy gets, the better he's going to be, the more confident he's going to be, the more he's going to express himself, but we're seeing that potential. I mean, number one, that pace down the left-hand side really makes things a lot more fluid. And I think too, the more he plays, the better he's going to be at being in the right defensive positions, not pushing forward as much and just really understanding where to be off the ball and on the ball. But the more he plays, the quicker he's going to get in this aspect. And with Alonso's terrible form recently, I think that Sarri needs to give Emerson a chance in the league to really show what he's about and what he can do. And I think that with Emerson, if he could play alongside that first choice left-hand side, with someone like Eden up front, and with either Cover or Ruben in the number 8 position, I think that could help him out even more. And you just see some of that potential down that left-hand side. I think Emerson helps to speed things up a lot more. And I think that Sarri needs to start using this guy now. Now, I've got Emerson out the way. I'm going to talk about the tactics briefly. I want to give you guys the understanding as to why Bournemouth made things so difficult for us today. Then afterwards, I'm going to be talking about some of the standout players tonight. But moving on to Bournemouth, and as I was saying, praise to Eddie Howe. And one thing I like about what Eddie Howe does is that his teams are very tactically fluid. They understand where to be off the ball and on the ball in certain situations. Now today, they use a back 5 system again. I wasn't surprised by that. Their setup was identical to what they used against us earlier in the league, and they make it very difficult for us. And again, it took another late goal to manage to break through Bournemouth, and they're so tactically fluid. I mean, the amount of times, they were able to really force us out wide to play our passes. They were very compact centrally. Obviously, with Bournemouth and Eddie Howe's teams, he likes his teams to be very compact, so the distances between the players isn't too far apart. With that back 5 of the midfield 3, and you had Wilson and Mousset up front, and sometimes, because they're very fluid and because Eddie Howe trains these guys, one of the strikers will drop into midfield to create a 4 at times. And of course, with the positioning of Mousset and Wilson, they were sticking quite close to Cesc Fabregas off the ball, and the whole thing was to try and force us out wide. They didn't want to be played through in the middle. I thought it was interesting to see Nathan Ake playing in midfield in this game. Of course, there were times where Nathan Ake could drop into defence to help out, and also with his ability to win the ball in midfield and his ability to play out and resist pressure as well. He's a very good player, and I thought that he was very good in midfield for Bournemouth today. I think another stand-up performer today was Brooks. Brooks was signed from Sheffield United, and again, this guy's really adapted very quickly to playing in the Premier League. Very good player, very good technically, works very hard as well. A quintessential Eddie Howe player. He really showed us quite a lot of his skill set tonight. And of course, we've got to talk about Callum Wilson, the guy that's linked with us. Callum Wilson, he causes defenders issues. His movement in behind is very good. His first touch is very good. He's a very reactive type of player in terms of the fact that he can make something out of nothing. Very good first touch as well. Of course, his finishing, it's not at that elite level. It's definitely not. But you've got to think, if we sign someone like Callum Wilson, we're not signing him to be the first choice striker for us. As I was saying in yesterday's match preview, he would be that backup guy, but let's be realistic in terms of how much money he would cost. I just don't see it happening unless we offer Bournemouth some of our players as part of that deal. But Bournemouth were very patient, and this is what I mean when I say they're very good from a tactical point of view. The amount of times we were waiting for their chances to attack us down our flanks, and I can see why Mousse was partnering Wilson today. They both have that ability to carry the ball, run into spaces. They both work very hard off the board as well. And when you've got players that buy into what the manager wants, it makes it very difficult for an opposition team to break through them. Now, we had a tactic today to try and do that, and basically what we were trying to do was shift the ball from left to right very quickly to try and obviously create those gaps in the middle. Now, during the first 15 minutes, we were able to do that, and to be honest, I must say it was probably our best start to a game so far. It was so crisp and fluid. Our passes, first touch, and this is what I meant when I was saying it seems like every player in the squad now feels very comfortable in this system. And what we wanted to do was pin Bournemouth to certain sides of the pitch. So let's say, for example, we've got the ball down the right-hand side. We kept possession there. Then someone would play a quick through ball to Willian. And we were constantly able to find Willian as the outlet down the left. And that was because what Willian was doing that was smart was whenever he wasn't on the ball down the left, whenever he was waiting to receive the ball, he would move in field to take a Bournemouth defender out the game because that Bournemouth defender has to mark him. And by doing that, he created all the space down the left for someone like Emerson to make those late man runs. And when you do that, that's how you're able to create those spaces between the lines. But, with Bournemouth being very resolute, and as I was saying, because they were having one of their strikers dropping into midfield to help out, we weren't able to shift them across as much. But at the same time, I thought we were very good today. And what I loved about this game was that it was a contest. I thought Bournemouth were very good. We were good as well. Some of our passing, some of our interplay, very quick, very fluid. Ruben in particular, the guy's just stepping up time and time again. It's looking now like Sarri really trusts him. Of course, everyone's proud. He's worked very hard to get to this point. And even when Ross Barkley came off, I think we all knew that Sarri wasn't going to be taking off Ruben. And one thing in particular with Ruben's game, which I will touch upon in tomorrow's 5 talking points video, is the fact that off the ball, he's working a lot. His application is on point. He is getting close. He is getting tight. And that is great to see. And on top of that, the versatility of the player. Now, I'm going to make a bit of a comparison. I'd have to compare him a bit to an Iniesta in the sense that, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play in the hole, he can play in midfield as well. That type of versatility is great. And he played in 3 different roles today, on the left, on the right, and on the right-hand side of the midfield 3. Honestly, I could constantly go on about this guy, but I'm going to save my thoughts and opinions for tomorrow's video. Now, Sarri had to bring on the big boys for today. Hazard came on, Pedro came on as well, and I think that they definitely helped play a part. Now, I thought Willian was decent today. He was very effective, and as I said, I think the guy's much better down that left-hand side. But with Pedro's introduction and Hazard's as well, we were able to force back Bournemouth even more because during that time, they were causing us a lot of issues down the flanks, and we had to try and pin their wing-backs back. And having Hazard and Pedro helped push their wing-backs back. Still, I need to talk about Kovacic today was very effective, was very good. One of his standout games for us this season. His ability to beat a press, so amazing. There was a moment at the end where it was like the 91st or 2nd minute. He receives the pass. I'm thinking, is someone going to support the guy? He's got 2 Bournemouth players on him. There's no one near him to receive the pass. Now, because Kovacic is a great player, that was no issue for him. He beat the press, he held the defender off, he skipped past 2 players, and because of that great individual moment of skill, we were able to create a counter-attack where really we should have scored to make it 2-0. It would have been our best goals of the season. And Kovacic is another player that I will be talking about more in tomorrow's 5 talking points video. In regards to Christensen, it looked kind of worrying. It seems like he might have potentially pulled his hamstring, and that was why he was subbed off in the end. As I was saying, I thought the guy was very good defensively today. Honestly, with this game today, it felt like it was potentially going to go to penalties. And I'm thinking that's another reason as to why Sarri brought on David Luiz for Christensen, because you always want Luiz to be one of your penalty takers. But thank God in the 84th minute, Hazard came through. That shot kind of scuffed into the net, but that's what we needed. And his introduction was very positive. He really forces defenders to have to mark him, to have to get to him. and he was able to constantly free up spaces down the flanks for us to, create those overloads out wide. But still, you guys, as I said, it was a fantastic contest today. Bournemouth were very good. I thought we were good as well. And it was nice to see a contest like this. Normally, you don't get games like this as much. But it was great to see that we overcame this test. And we're through to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. But you guys, that's going to be the end for today's match review. Please like, comment and subscribe. As I said, there is a Chelsea news video out right now. I talk about Christensen, Isco and Bruce Box. So make sure you watch that. You guys, I'm going to keep it moving. I need to eat because I keep forgetting to eat because I'm in front of a computer screen literally all day. I don't know why I keep doing it. I need to go right now. Thanks for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. Signing out.